Hey guys, so today we're going to be checking out a knockout that I made. So I think the Knockout needs no introduction. I mean, it's one of the most popular blasters to modify in the last couple years, and it's overall just a great blaster, especially for shooting short darts, which is what this one is doing. And yeah, it's just a pretty good blaster over. As you can see, there is no longer ball storage down here. It has been turned into a Picatinny rail, and everything has been modified. And this was before the 3D prints. So this is all putty and 3D printed rail. Actually, this is the Knockout rail, I apologize. But yeah, it was all done before 3D printed kits and everything. But yeah, this was done before 3D printed kits, so I mean, boom on ya. I don't know. Just a little bit of a flex that it doesn't have 3D printed parts, that it's all just one blaster. You know, nothing's removable, it's all integrated in, and it looks really good. So the other things that have been done to this Knockout, it has a brass breech. Excuse me for it not being too clean. I haven't cleaned this blaster in a while. But it has a brass breech. It's a little too far forward for my liking. If I had to redo this, I'd cut that a little back farther. But it still works to this day. I made this about 4 years ago, and it still works to this day. It has seen light use because I haven't really gone to many wars in the last couple years, but it's been good for plinking around my house, and I tend to open it with a downwards flick because, as you guys know, especially with, you know, the brass barrels and everything, the Knockout breech can be a little sloppy sometimes, especially if you don't have the right spring. And I don't think I have the right spring in here, but it still functions and it works all right. Other small things that have been done to this Knockout, it has a pretty long barrel. Actually, I believe it's close to 7 inches of brass, if I'm remembering right. And it has a front sight molded into the barrel there. I don't remember if that was on the Knockout or not. I don't believe it was. But I added a rear sight as well, so you get a nice sight picture. And they're colored like a dark orange, different orange than the plaster, so it stands out pretty good while you're aiming it. Also on the end, we have a 3D printed suppressor here. This is permanently affixed to the barrel, and it has the little 50 cal on it, which I really like. My buddy Josh at France Foamworks printed this out for me a while ago when he was making these. So I'll put a link down to his web store in the description. He makes really good stuff. You guys should check him out. The only other thing that's been done to this Knockout is the old pull tab was deleted, and in place of it is a bolt with a nylon lock nut. And that just gives an easy 2-finger prime, and it's really easy to operate. And this thing really delivers the hits. I mean, still for going on a couple years old, it still pops those darts out pretty good. Now, as you can see, sometimes the barrel springs forward upon shooting. Let me grab that dart again, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. That's just because my springs in the Knockout are all worn out and old, and the catches aren't working as well. I might buy a new Knockout and replace the internals in this, at least the parts that are needed, but I'm not 100% sure yet. And honestly, as long as if you fire and then have it open and flick it down, it opens up. So it kind of speeds the reload if you think about it. The only thing I'm concerned with is the dart leaving the barrel before the air pressure is applied to get it out of the barrel. But it seems to be shooting fine. It seems to happen when the plunger head hits the top of the plunger tube, and that's when it releases. So most of the air is out by then, so it's really not too big of an issue. Paint job on this, nice and simple. Gloss black on the handle, and these two halves are still separable, by the way, if I remember right. So this blaster can be taken apart even with all the putty and everything up here. But yeah, nice gloss black, and that gloss black has held up really nice over the years. It just looks phenomenal. It's one of the best gloss blacks I've ever done. Because I'm not really the best painter, if you couldn't tell, but I get by. And then this top is actually sponge painting. I did a light blue or a dark blue base coat, and then I did light blue and white and a little bit of gray splotches in there. And it just gives this really cool marble effect. And this one of my, I did this a couple years ago pretty often, but I'm going to transfer over to hydro dipping. But this is a really easy way to make your blaster pop out and shine without having to do an expensive project like hydro dipping or anything like that. So keep sponge painting in mind, guys. I know it's a little outdated, but it's still good to this day. Alright, now I still don't have a chronograph or anything. It's actually coming in the mail, thank God. I will have a new one here soon, but for now we're just going to go outside and get some firing demos of this and just show you how it's shooting on the range. Alright guys, so this is going to be the firing demo of the modified Knockout. Sorry we're in a different location. There's some construction workers down the road and I'm trying to eliminate some of the noise by them. We're just going to be firing towards the shed, occasionally at the grill, just to show that it can hit a human-sized target. Grill's a pretty big human-sized target, but it's close enough. But you guys can really see that this thing has some range to it, even just for an old Knockout. So we'll do firing now. And as you can see, if I flick that barrel just a little bit, it opens up just fine for me. I know these are Adventure Force Pro darts, so they are a little hard to see. They're going about halfway between the yard and the shed, which is pretty decent. You can really see the pop if I hit the grill there. Yeah, see, there's that barrel opening problem I was thinking about, but just makes the reload even easier. Do an arc shot. Oh my god, that was actually really close to hitting the shed. That's awesome. Yeah, this thing has some range to it for a little pistol. I'm really excited to see what the, I believe it's the Pilot, the break action one. I have it hanging on my wall if you guys were paying attention in there. And I'm really excited to modify that one. Let's see if we get one more shot at the grill. And there we go. So that's all the shots I have of the Knockout. As you can see, it's a pretty good performer. And it does look really nice out here in the sunlight. So, yeah. Got to get her out of the house once in a while. Alright guys, so as you can see, it's still performing pretty well for an old Knockout that's a couple years old now. This is just a small, simple blaster I wanted to do a quick video on. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. I'm coming, Bongo. Give me a second. Hi, buddy. Yes, hello. Hello.